The year is 1776, a pivotal moment in history where the seeds of a new nation are sown. A young nation, weary of oppression, declares its independence. The air is thick with the fervor of revolution, and the dream of a land where freedom reigns supreme begins to take shape. The colonists, yearning for freedom, break free from British rule. Their hearts burn with the desire for self-determination, and their actions echo through the annals of history. The memory of tyranny, of disarmament, of taxes imposed without representation fuels their fight. The injustices they endured become the rallying cry for a new era of governance. The Declaration of Independence, a beacon of hope, proclaims the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is a document that not only declares freedom, but also inspires generations to come. But independence is only the first step. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, as the fledgling nation must now build a framework to sustain its newfound freedom. The fledgling nation needs a government, one that guarantees the very freedoms for which they fought. The vision of a republic, where the power lies with the people, begins to take form. They had seen firsthand the dangers of unchecked power. The spectre of tyranny looms large, a constant reminder of what they must avoid. The Articles of Confederation, their first attempt, proves too weak, too decentralized. The need for a stronger, more cohesive structure becomes evident. A stronger, more unified government is needed. The call for a convention to address these issues grows louder as the nation teeters on the brink of chaos. In the summer of 1787, delegates from 12 states gather in Philadelphia. Their mission is clear: to create a new government that can stand the test of time. This constitutional convention becomes a crucible of debate, a battleground of ideas. The delegates, each with their own vision, clash and compromise in the pursuit of a common goal. They are united in their desire for liberty, yet divided on how best to achieve it. The debates are intense, the stakes high, as they strive to balance power and protect individual rights. The Founding Fathers, acutely aware of history's lessons, knew that power corrupts. They draw upon the wisdom of the ages, studying historical documents and ancient texts to guide their decisions. They had studied ancient Greece and Rome, witnessing the rise and fall of empires. The lessons of these ancient civilizations informed their quest to build a lasting republic. They understood that tyranny could take many forms, from the absolute rule of a king to the tyranny of the majority. Their challenge is to create a system that guards against all forms of oppression, ensuring that liberty's flame burns bright for generations to come. Independence Hall echoed with the voices of giants. These walls bore witness to the birth of a nation, a place where ideas clashed and new visions for the future were forged. Men like George Washington, the steady hand guiding the nation, whose leadership and resolve were instrumental in the fight for independence and the formation of a new government. And James Madison, the brilliant architect of the Constitution, whose meticulous notes and profound understanding of political theory shaped the very framework of our government. Thomas Jefferson penned the declaration that fueled their purpose. His words, "All men are created equal," became the rallying cry for a new era of liberty. Alexander Hamilton, a fiery advocate for a strong central government, whose vision for a robust financial system laid the groundwork for America's economic future. And John Adams, the passionate defender of individual rights, whose eloquence and fervor in the debates added depth and conviction to the cause of freedom. These men, though different in temperament and ideology, shared a common goal: to create a government that would protect individual liberty from the encroachments of tyranny. They understood that their differences were their strength, bringing diverse perspectives to the table. They believed that the best way to secure freedom was to limit the power of government itself. Through intense debates and thoughtful deliberation, they sought to create a system of checks and balances. The Constitution they crafted was a testament to their wisdom and foresight. It was not just a set of rules, but a document designed to limit the power and scope of the government. It was a document born of compromise, a delicate balance between order and liberty. They knew that for the nation to thrive, it needed a foundation that could withstand the test of time and the challenges of governance. They understood that human nature, with its inherent thirst for power, needed to be constrained. By embedding safeguards within the Constitution, they aimed to prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful, ensuring that liberty would remain at the heart of the American experiment. Tyranny, a word that sends shivers down the spines of free people, can manifest in many forms. It is a shadow that looms over societies, threatening to snuff out the light of liberty and justice. It can be the iron fist of a dictator, crushing dissent and silencing opposition. This form of tyranny is overt, visible, and brutal, leaving no room for doubt about its intentions. Imagine a world where your every move is watched, your every word scrutinized. In such a world, privacy becomes a relic of the past, and the walls have ears. The omnipresent gaze of the state creates an atmosphere of perpetual fear and anxiety, where fear replaces freedom and silence becomes the language of survival. In these conditions, trust erodes and communities fracture as neighbors become informants and friends turn into foes. But tyranny can also be subtle, creeping in like a thief in the night. It can be insidious, wearing the mask of benevolence while slowly tightening its grip. It can be the slow erosion of individual rights, the gradual expansion of government power at the expense of personal liberty. This form of tyranny is often justified by the promise of security and order, but it comes at a steep price. Imagine a world where the government dictates what you can say, what you can read, what you can believe. In such a world, the free exchange of ideas is stifled and creativity is suffocated. Where conformity is celebrated and dissent is met with suspicion and scorn. The vibrant tapestry of human thought and expression is reduced to a monochrome of obedience. The Founding Fathers, scarred by the wounds of British tyranny, recognized these dangers. They understood that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. They knew that power, like fire, could be a source of warmth and light, but left unchecked, it could consume and destroy. They crafted a system of checks and balances designed to prevent the rise of tyranny in any form. It is up to us, the inheritors of their vision, to remain vigilant, to recognize the faces of tyranny, both overt and subtle, and to stand against them. For in the end, the preservation of freedom is the responsibility of every generation. The Constitution stands as a bulwark against tyranny. It is a document of limited government, carefully dividing power to prevent its concentration in any one person or branch. The Founding Fathers, guided by the principles of republicanism and individual liberty, created a system designed to protect the rights of the people. At its heart lies the principle of popular sovereignty. The people are the ultimate source of power, delegating it to their elected representatives. This is not a government by decree, but a government by consent. The Constitution, with its carefully crafted framework, ensures that the government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. This framework rests on three pillars: the separation of powers, checks and balances, and federalism. Each pillar plays a crucial role in preventing the rise of tyranny. The Constitution is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people, it is an instrument for the people to restrain the government, lest it come to dominate our lives and interests. Patrick Henry. It is time we ask ourselves as Americans a very simple question. Is this the America we want to leave future generations? Are you okay with your government intruding into every aspect of your life? The government only receives its power through the consent of the governed. I think it is time to revoke our consent to be governed by these tyrants. The time has come to show the corrupt government who really holds the power in America. The Founding Fathers understood that liberty requires eternal vigilance and the will to fight against tyranny. As we look to the future, let us remember the lessons of the past. Stay frosty. My friends, a storm is coming. Keep your head down and your powder dry.